Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Wolverine, issue number 48, the penultimate issue before, the final issue, right? Am I right? Or is there another issue after that? I hope there's another issue after that. This is part 8. I don't know if it's a 9-part or a 10-part. It's probably a 10-part. Maybe it's the penultimate before the penultimate, right? Anyway, loving this series. Holy crap. The end of this comic book, I got giddy. There was a little giddiness. It may have been on my part. Let's see if I can transfer that over to you. But first things first, we got to talk about who made this comic book. So this week, it's time for Benjamin Percy to come before Victor Lavelle, but you know what's up. Corey Smith on pencils, Oren Jr. on inks, Alex Sinclair doing colors, and VC's Corey Petit doing the letters. Lanil Francis Yu and Romulo Fayaro Jr. do the cover art. Couple of variant covers out there also. Hey, go check them out. Also, we should get like a special, thing for, it was Len Wayne and who was the right, somebody fill me in below, smarten me up. All right. Who was who were the two creators for Wolverine? Because it really annoys me that they don't put that out there. Wait, Herb Trimpe? Was that? Am I thinking Herb Trimpe also? Whatever. Anyway, you guys let me know. Guys. This comic book starts out in a duality. We get Wolverine's side of what happened and Sabretooth's side of what happened. And they're side by side at first, and then slowly you get one page devoted to Wolverine, one page devoted to Sabretooth, right? And they're like side by side, and it's amazing seeing this perspective. Sabretooth is talking about, I'm winning at this game. Wolverine's like, why is he playing this game? But he's still in the game at any point. At any point, you'd figure Wolverine could be smart enough to just be like, you know what? I'm done. You win. I can't go on anymore. And just go out and just let himself die at some point, right? Or join up. And that wouldn't be a good idea. But like, how do you, the idea of the irresistible force and the immovable object? Well, if the irresistible force is moving fast enough, you got inertia on your side and you could shatter the immovable object, right? Physics always help with that stuff. But how do you deal with the idea of pure chaos wrapped up in this muscular skin suit of claws and fangs, right? With a healing factor to boot. How do you deal with someone like Sabretooth? Something. He's an act of nature with some small sense of justification. I mean, you look at his childhood. They go back and they look at his childhood. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen Sabretooth's origin. I stopped reading comic books for a while, so somebody else came along sometime later and did this stuff. I don't really like the James Howlett stuff, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's not great. It's not what I would have wanted to see personally. I wanted to see that Wolverine and Sabretooth were actually directly related, like brothers at the very least, if not Sabretooth was his father. I would have preferred that, like the original idea went, but whatever. Seeing Sabretooth there with his hands tied up, his claws out there, and he's like, no, Dad, no. And his dad doesn't even just have like a tree cutting axe. He's got a double bladed battle axe. Like, where did this guy get this from? What medieval gift shop with this guy hanging out with? Like, did he just get back from medieval times? And he's just like, this'll do. What are you buying this for, sir? Cutting off my son's hand? I mean, chafing wheat? Like, what? Double bladed battle axe. And it's clearly been used, right? This old fossil. Start cutting off his hands, and of course the hands would grow back, but it's like, wow, this is wild, and I love seeing this. We see Sabretooth slowly starting to escape because he is the irresistible force. In this equation, Wolverine is not the irresistible force. He's the quote-unquote immovable object. He's the stubborn SOB. Sabretooth is the one moving a million miles a second, right? He's coming to like this Venus flytrap. It's going inside of his mouth, and he's I'll just take it because I'll heal from it, but I got to get my hands free to be able to rip. I'd rather rip out. Think about this mentality. God, I would love to see this battle. Think about how I talked about the way that Moon Knight fights. He would rather take a punch so that he wouldn't miss an opportunity to throw a punch also, as opposed to block and then hope that he's open to throw a punch, right? Not even like the intelligent form of, an aggressive parry, right? Where it's like, block, boom, hit back right away, right? My muscles are really sore right now. I just got to finish a killer workout, man. Ooh, nice one. I don't know if you can see the definite, probably not. Camera's not showing it for me. But anyway, nice definition. Feeling good. Just get rid of this overlap right down here. Oh, feeling good. Ooh, got a nice, big, juicy, fat cheesesteak. Look at that. Oh, made it myself, and I'm going to eat it myself, too. Anyway, woo! Let me tell you something. That's not just the cheesesteak smell. Seeing a Sabretooth versus Moon Knight fight would be amazing, because Sabretooth has the exact same mentality. I think it was I don't know. I think I did a Taskmaster explained in a minute, but I know I did a Moon Knight explained in a minute. And one or both of them, whatever, I know I talked about how, it was a long time ago, I know I talked about how Moon Knight is okay with the idea of fighting and getting beaten up after a fight and then going back into another fight. Taskmaster hates taking, the one style Taskmaster hates taking on is, in fact, Moon Knight's, because he's like, it hurts too much to do Moon Knight's style. So I'd rather fight him with somebody else's style instead, I love that. I would love to see Sabretooth versus Moon Knight. And from somebody who's like, I really like Sabretooth a lot. I mean, does Moon Knight really have to win? Does he? Because this would be just an amazing fight, Seeing Sabretooth just be like, I don't care what these, vines are doing to me. I don't care the acid. I don't care that you're trying to eat me alive. You're digesting me as we speak. I'm going to get out. You know what I'm saying? There could be somebody punching him in the face, and he'd be like, I could easily scratch you and make you stop, right? Or rip your hand off and make you stop, but you still got another hand, and I'd rather just devote my time to pulling these things apart, right? He will not be stopped. He is the irresistible force. That's why Sabretooth, no matter how many times you beat him up, he's always going to come back. The end of this comic book had me going, oh, and the sense of urgency was really expressed in Quentin Quire. His pink head just sitting there inside this case looking on going, guys, please hurry. This is supposed to be Necra's ultimate revenge against Sabretooth, this ultimate punishment, this final solution, if you will. What final solution is there for Sabretooth? He's been Muramasa bladed! But here we go. We got Wolverine showing up at the end of this. No healing factor. Necra saying he's useless. A powerless Wolverine is useless. She's smiling by the end of this. Because Wolverine comes out. And spoiler for the end of the comic book starting now. Like the video, watch an ad if you're going to leave right now. Otherwise, Wolverine comes out of this little closet. He's got a bit of armor waiting for him. It's made completely of adamantium. Aside from the fact that it doesn't have the samurai headdress on top, and it's got the Wolverine, whatever that thing is called, the horned mask looking thing. Wolverine coming out there with a Muramasa blade. He's the Wolverine version of the Silver Samurai. And it is amazing. This is going to sound dumb, but I kind of want to see Wolverine get killed in this. As dumb as it sounds, as much as I love Wolverine, I don't know. It's weird, but Wolverine doesn't have his powers now. He doesn't have his healing factor. We've already seen Wolverine without his healing factor. That's what led to the death of Wolverine, right? By being encased in adamantium. So I would kind of rather see Wolverine die in this than Sabretooth die in this, because there is so much potential for the things that Sabretooth can do from this point on. With the other Sabretooths there, Sabreteeth, and now it's officially Sabreteeth, right? Either would technically work. Oh my God. I am loving this. Guys, the only way this could flop is if it ends on a sour note. But even then, I wouldn't even say it's a flop. I'd say, you know what? I'm going to wait and see what happens next. Sometimes it takes a truly epic storyline like this to make me want to start reading a comic book again that I had stopped reading forever and an age ago. Right? After the story's over, as long as it ends on a decent note, if not a bad note, I'm probably going to keep on reading Wolverine and seeing where we go from here, if the series doesn't just get canceled. If they don't change the name to Sabretooth, in which case, pretty sure I'm going to read the hell out of it. I am loving what I am seeing here. Guys, if you're not reading this, you should be. You should be on it. You should go out and grab all the extra copies. If you can't find all the extra copies, you're going to be stuck borrowing from a friend or going online, or the worst option, waiting for the trade paperback to come out. If you are seeing this months in advance and the trade paperback is out right now and you're reading this or you're listening to this commentary, I can assure you it is a well worth it purchase up to this point. This is riveting. I don't know that I've ever used that term for a comic book before. Modern age, at the very least. This is next level. Storytelling, art, name it. I am glued to this comic book. I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully before the next comic book comes out, but whatever. Like the video, watch an ad for the rest of you who stuck around. That's it. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.